Do you think you can get anything you want through Buddhism? Can? What do you think? Have you got anything what you want? Can you think you can get anything you want through Buddhism? Through practicing Buddhism? I see a few people say yes. And what about the others? Cannot? What do you think? Can you get anything what you want? Yes, that's right. You can get anything what you want. Only thing you must be wise. And what things to choose from. And also to be patient. And whatever things you want, you can get if you know Buddhism. If you know what Buddhism is all about. Because the whole teachings of the Buddha revolves around the understanding of the true nature of life and the world around us. And that is what you call Dhamma. The Dhamma with regards to nature, with regards to the law of nature, and with regards to the behavior, the natural, the conduct, how we can conduct ourselves according to the law of nature, without transgressing nature, then we can get anything what we want. Now, you want to listen to Dhamma. The thought comes up in your mind some time ago, and then you decide, you come, there you are, here you are. And many of you have cherished certain thoughts of becoming teachers, becoming whatever profession that you had wanted. And you have become that. You have achieved those things. And but of course, there are certain limitations. That there are certain things that you want, certain things that you like, but you cannot get it immediately. But if you work hard for it, then you can get. Because the Buddha says that it is not impossible to have success both in this life as well as in the next life. If you want to go to heaven, you can go too. If you want to go to hell, can also. If you don't want to go there, you can remain in this world. If you like the animal realm to be one of them, also can. Depends on what you do. According to your thoughts, according to your speech, according to your action, we generate this kind of karma. And this karma will keep on molding our mind, keep on molding our body every moment. Now, as you sit down to listen to the Dhamma and make use of your mind to know, to learn how to use the mind to develop the potentials of the mind, then one day you will be able to have a good mind and be able to develop your mind. Even now, at this moment, while you are putting your attention on one thing, what you listen, then to that extent your mind is there. To that extent you are achieving what you wanted. You want to come to listen to Dhamma. There you are here, you are listening it. So it is important for us to understand what we want and what are the things that are really necessary for us. There are so many things that we can work for in life. So many things. And we have house. We can work for a house, work for cars, work for all kinds of things. Material things. Not only material things, work for some other things, name, fame, glory. We can work for these things. You see how many people, they work hard for all these things. And they have no time for themselves. So we must be wise in the short span of our life. And we must decide what are the things that are useful for us and what are the things that we can achieve here and now which will pave the way for greater happiness here and now and perhaps too for the future. So you know what are the things that can pave the way for the happiness here and now, for success here and now, and for the future too. You know these things? The Buddha has taught this in another discourse, in one discourse known as the Vyagapacca Sutta. Some of you might have heard this discourse. How to be successful in this life and also to be successful hereafter. To be successful in life, in this worldly material success, there are 4 things that are important. 4 conditions that are necessary for us to fulfill. What are these 4 things? The first thing is we have to work hard. This is what you call Uttana Sampada, the accomplishment of effort, energy. We have to work and we have to become skillful in whatever trade, in whatever profession that we are in. That is the first factor of success, to get what we want in this life, in this material world. The second factor is we must know how to look after what we have righteously acquired. The wealth that we have righteously acquired, we must know how to protect, how to watch it. That is Arakka Sampada. To know how to protect, to look after the things that we have acquired, whatever wealth it may be, so that we do not waste it away. Then the third factor, the third thing that that leads us to success in this life is to have good friends. Kalyana mittata. To have good association, good friends. And who are your good friends? Those friends that are with you in times of need, in times of trouble. Whether good times or bad times, they are with you. They counsel you. They protect you. When you are not mindful, they protect you. And they also protect your family, your property. They are your good friends. They give counsel to you. They can advise you to avoid evil, to do good. And when you have good friends, this is how we can grow. You have good associates. And those associates which you have, the drunkard, the gambler, the womanizer or manizer, and those who are idle, and the habits of idleness, lazy, and all these people, they are not to be considered as real friends. Although many people call them friends, the Buddha say they are fiends. You know fiends? They are devils in the guise of friends. You see how you call your friends. Who are your friends? Those kaki mahjong. All day, every Saturday night, is it? Is your mahjong night, is it? Friday night, Dhamma. I know. In Australia, Friday night is a night where everybody go out for party and for drinking. And they go to the pub and they have parties. That is Friday night. And so there are certain places where there are people who come on Friday night to listen to Dhamma too. After the Dhamma talk, after the meditation, then they go urgent, they go to adjourn for their drinking. And then they go for party. But not all, some. There are some people I have heard about. And but in our case, we try to make use of Friday nights for the Dhamma night too. So we have house gatherings, Dhamma gatherings in different houses in different places. So they invite, because in Sydney, in Australia, and many other places, there are still at the moment no proper temple, no proper monasteries like this, the kind of facilities that you have. So we have to make do with some residential halls, residential houses, convert the hall, convert rooms and into hall like this. And but if there are certain times when we hold functions, then we have to borrow premises. We have to pay, hire certain halls or certain holiday camp. Like last April, when we had the Buddhist Youth Convention. And this Buddhist Youth Convention, I came to realize that it is not so easy to get only young people, because that side there are many Asian families, and they are afraid to let their children go themselves. So when you want to have any gathering for the young people, you must also include the older ones. So eventually our youth convention turned out to be not only for the youth, but also from the papa and the grandpa, grandma also came. 3 generations. And but it was very good experience for them. And all these purposely to get the people together, like what you are here, you come here, all this. It is to build up good friendship, to have friendship in the Dhamma, to build up fellowship in the Dhamma. But I do not know how many of you know each other. Do you know 10 persons? Or you come here and then Friday night and look around and after talk, drink and then go away. You do that? Then certain places in certain countries, it is like that. I noticed when I was traveling in Europe, in certain countries, and sometimes I go by public transport, and then I see those people in the bus, in the train. When they come up, they come with newspaper, and they just look in the newspaper, and they want to see you. They use that newspaper as a shield. And in London also like this. They pretend. They are busybody, but they pretend not to be busybody. So from time to time they know what is happening also. But some of them really, those without newspaper one, they sit down quietly, look down, and they can go up. I was told how you can see them, and you can go up the same bus every day for a few years, but still you do not know them. You would not know them. It is like this. And just now somebody asked me how is life in Australia. It's a very broad topic, and but generally in big cities, you naturally see where people become more and more selfish, and they do not care for their neighbors. So in the cities, whether it be Sydney or Tokyo or New York or big cities like that, sometimes Kuala Lumpur also catching up in this, where you live in posh places, apartment, you don't care whatever happens around you, and you do not know who your neighbors are also. And that is the nature. But you go out a little bit in the countryside, go out a little bit out, and then the people are more caring. But some people say these caring people are busybody. They like to know whatever happens. Little bit happen, they know. Who you go out with, they also know. And so some people don't like these things. And they want to be independent. And they want mind your own business. But you see, there is goodness in this. And when people are concerned and about one another, and there is a kind of Dhamma that protects, because you have the fear that others, what others may say, what others may see what you do, then you have restraint, you have some restraint also. So when you live in such busybody kind of environment, there is some protection for what you do also. Once when I was in a small village in France, and they live very closely in the village, and when one foreigner comes, everybody knows, and they have that houses, and upstairs they have small window. They can peep and see. And so when they saw somebody like this, first time they see in this place, first time they see a funny person like this, dressed up like that, and then, but some of them know that is a monk, and Buddhist monk. And then the word passed around whole village within one day, and they all know Buddhist monk in town. And very funnily, I do not know how they come to know, but the neighbors will come and inquire where I stayed. I stayed with one family, and they also know what I eat. And immediately the next day, see, all kinds of vegetable, all kinds of things come. And so there are the goodness also about busybody. So it's only that we must have the concern. We must have care for one another, and there are various kinds of busybody. One is the caring society. We must have this kind of caring society, rather than just to talk and pass time and to tell tales like that. So when you come like this is good friendship. And if you want to be successful, to get what you want in this life, it is important to have good contacts, good friends, and help one another. Then what you are not good in, somebody may be good in. What you are good in, others may not be so good. So this is how you can share. You live in a sharing kind of society, community. And this third factor of good friendship is very important. And the Buddhist concept of friendship is actually not only the concept of one lifetime. Sometimes you make friends, and for how long? For a few days. When you want something, you make friends with that person. Then after that, no more. Don't see him, don't talk to him anymore. When you want something again, then you go and see. That is the nature how people make friends. But the Buddhist concept of friendship, Kalyana Mitta, goes beyond this kind. It is life to life, sansaric friends. That is how, from life to life. Like this, when you have good friends, and you have interest to study and to put into practice the Dhamma. And when you have difficulties, you come and you discuss with one another. And these things continues from life to life until you are able to put an end to all suffering. Like the Buddha. The Buddha and the chief disciples of the Buddha. Some of the closest disciples of the Buddha, like Sariputta, Moggallana, Kassapa, Ananda, they all have been in the past. They all have been, they all are related with one another. And they have been brothers. They have been fathers to one another, brothers to one another. And a few lifetimes, Kassapa and the Buddha and Sariputta Moggallana in the past have been brothers. He was the father, and they on a few birds like that. Even all the chief disciples, the women disciples too, Visakha, Uppalawana, and the Kema, they also have been closely related in the past. And so all these things come from association, from good association. And when you have close association, then from birth to birth you come back, and then if your association is for the Dhamma, then you come back again and again like that, and pave the way for one another. Then so that important thing is to have good friends. But unfortunately, in places where, in certain society, where such values are not so much what you call valued, then the friendship that they know of are those who they meet in the park. They make friends in the park, they make friends in the party, and they are all their friends. And in the gambling, in the race course, this is how they have the so-called friends. Friday night they have a lot of friends. Saturday no more friends. And so we must know the value of how we should value friends, and how to be good friends to one another. And then the other factor for our success here and now is that value of to have balanced livelihood. In other words, to know how to budget, good budgeting, income and expenditure. Our expenditure should not exceed our income. And this is something very difficult in Australia. I have observed these things because that side, many people don't carry around money these days. They all carry around plastic cards. You know, plastic card? There are so many plastic cards. But you must be careful how you carry the plastic card. If you paste them one another, then they get erased. The magnetic thing gets erased. You cannot use them. You cannot get any money. In certain places, if you don't have those plastic cards, you cannot buy things. You can walk into a departmental store. They don't accept money. They accept only plastic card. You want to what you call rent car. I remember once, and we had some visitors, and then we wanted to get a rental car. And so we thought, cash, we pay cash. And, somebody says, they have cash to pay. They says, no, you have card or not? So that is the kind, and you find that everybody, because they tend to spend more than what they earn. And this is how they make themselves slaves to that. Once they are indebted, they are owing the bank, they owe people, they owe various various organizations, various institutions that they promote. They sometimes they in fact encourage people to borrow. And so this is how in fact this is how people measure the standard of living and what you call wealth. I think some of you know by now, the country that is richest is the country that borrows most money in the world. Do you know that? And So that is how they call wealth. But it is important to balance our life and to live so that we are able to free ourselves from the kind of debt. And because this is one kind of happiness which the people, householder experience. They experience when their mind is free from that. Then their mind is free. They have that kind of happiness. And one do not realize these things until they are really indebted. So one must know how to balance the life. And when you want to follow one another, and you have made something which is, or you have already sufficient food, sufficient clothing, sufficient shelter, but still not enough. You want to make more and more. Not that you cannot get, you can get. But you must be wise to know what you really need in this life for you to have happiness, for you to live in peace with yourself and to live in harmony outside. So these conditions, these four conditions which the Buddha had taught more than 2,500 years ago, it is valid even today. As such is the nature of the teachings, such is the nature of the Dhamma. Because this Dhamma, it is the condition, it is the worldly conditions. When these worldly conditions are there, then these worldly conditions will support material success, worldly success. So you should remember this, that what are these four conditions? First one is to work hard, to persevere. Whatever trade, whatever profession you are in, to know to be skillful in them. The second one is to be watchful and to protect, to know how to guard and protect what you have earned. Then the third one is to have good associates, good friends. And fourthly, you lead a balanced life. And then these are the conditions for the success in this life, material success. The Buddha has given another four conditions if you want to be successful in your next life hereafter. And what are these conditions? The first one is the condition of to have confidence, to have saddha. What is this? To have confidence in what? In moral and spiritual values. When you have confidence in the Buddha, in the Dhamma, and in the Sangha, then naturally you will develop your confidence in moral, spiritual, as well as intellectual values. And it is with this confidence that you are able to build up your confidence, and where there is saddha, there is the element of faith and confidence in your mind, then that mind will become more peaceful. And because you can see whenever the mind is there, the element of faith, the element of confidence is not there, then anxiety arises in the mind, worries arise. When you have no confidence to face people, you begin to shiver, and fear arise in your mind. And when you have confidence with one another, then your mind is, you do not have that kind of suspicion, that kind of fear one another. So confidence is a very important factor. And how do we develop this confidence in moral and spiritual values? The only way that we can maintain and develop this confidence is by associating with people who already have developed this confidence. When you are in good company, faithful company, people who have faith and confidence in moral and spiritual values, then naturally you follow when these are the people whom you should follow, and then you will also grow in faith and confidence. And because it is because of your good association with one another, then you hear, oh, come, let us listen to Dhamma, and Friday night, come, let us come together. They pull you one another, you come. But there are also some other friends says, what is that Friday night you talk, you listen to that only, There are good program on in the TV, and I can lend you my video, very good one. And so there are many skeptical people around. So with such skeptics, and they have no interest in moral spiritual values, they do not like to listen to such things. So when one associates with them, close association, then this is where Friday night, and then you don't come anymore because you have this another kind of friend. So you should know how to maintain your good friendship to develop this saddha, confidence, because it is this confidence in moral and spiritual values that is going to pave the way for a happy life hereafter. If this life is not happy enough, then next life, to have better life, happier life, then to have confidence, real confidence in the Buddha, the Dhamma and the Sangha. Then the second factor which gives rise to, which will condition a good life hereafter, is the factor of sila or morality or good conduct. Restrain. When you are able to restrain your tongue, restrain your speech, restrain your body actions, and this is how it will lead you to have good life. And when you avoid evil and do good, and this is what basically morality is about, avoiding evil and doing good, then naturally, according to the law of cause and effect, according to the law of karma, you will see the good things. And so that value of sila or morality helps one to have maintain good life here as well as hereafter. And then the third factor is the value of chaga or dana or generosity, liberality. In other words, giving, sharing what you have with others. Because it is an inherent law, it is a natural law that what you give you have received. Right? What you are able to give is what you have received. And this is a natural law, you give and receive. And the law, the cause and effect is that this is a natural law, this is the Dhamma. That's why the Buddha points out, if we want to acquire wealth, not only to be wealthy now, but to be wealthy in our next life, to have good birth, so that we can have all the material, all the necessities and more, then it is important for us to know how to give. Depending on what you give, material things, If you want material things, then material things. During the time of the Buddha, certain monks are very good for certain things. Like who? Like you might have heard of the Venerable Sivali. What is he good for? He is very good for getting food, but he is already a saint. He's an arahant. But because of his perfections, because of the parami he had practiced in the past, wherever he goes, he gets a lot of food. Do you get a lot of food wherever you go? And some people, wherever they go, they get stale food. But it depends, because if you like to give people stale food, in return later on people give you stale food also. So must know how to give well. And certain monks during the time of the Buddha excel in wherever he goes, he gets a lot of blankets and warm clothing. And so the Buddha knows, because through his enlightened, his awakened mind, the Buddha knows the nature of each different disciples. So if he wants to visit a big village which is there are not many devotees, not many new place, then because whenever he goes there are big followings, a few hundred of monks will come. And can you, if 500 monks come here, can you feed them? I think you all can, because but if they come for a long time, so when so many monks are to approach a new village, then the Buddha will think, where is Sivali? Come along. Because of his parami, his perfections, it just brings the food like that. And if you want to go to a cold place, then you must know to bring that monk to get a lot of warm clothing, and then they can share. In fact, you can see these things if you observe carefully within your own circle, within your own family. You will know that a certain child, one child is good for certain things, another child is good for certain things, depending on what they bring. That's why the tradition of some Chinese people, when they are born, they go and consult the horoscope and say that when you consult the horoscope, and then they say, oh, born, you bring so many sack of rice, so many sack of gold, and like that. And it is from what you have given in the past, and you will receive in the present. And you see, sometimes when you want to get your promotion, and but you have a lot of obstacle. But some people straight away, no obstacle. They come into office, work for a little while, they go out. And then you work there for a long time, and then you start, you have all kinds of, you say, why work so long, cannot get? One after another. It is also due to some karma, no? Sometimes when you want to give something, and behind your mind, you start off with a good thought you want to give, and then, on the way to the temple, you think, if I give so much, give little bit now, no? And then by the time you reach the temple, $10 become $1 already. So by the time you want to put in, another thought comes. This is what you call the stinginess, maccharya. It is an element, it is a mental factor in the mind which conditions stinginess, and which blocks your dana parami, blocks you. And so when you have this kind of thing, and sometimes, in the house, when husband is generous, wife very stingy. When wife is generous, husband very stingy. Husband say, why you give for all this sort of thing? I work so hard and you give. Then, so, like this, they block one another. Be careful. If you do this thing, next life, you get all kinds of obstacles too. And husband and wife must know how to live together, to do what you call, to pave the way for one another to perfect, to develop the paramis, perfections. And children and parents too. When you live together in a family, the real Dhamma family is such that parents pave the way for the children to give the Dhamma to their children. And in turn, the children too pave the way for their parents to receive Dhamma. Because when parents are old, they cannot drive. Then it is the duty of children to drive them to come Friday night discussion, continue Friday night discussion, and to support them. These are the duties. And so when you do this from life to life, you come in the same family, in the same community. Kinds of giving. I think some of you would have known by now the giving of material things. And not only giving of material things, because food alone, if you have food, clothing, shelter, medicine, you can live, but you may not be so happy. And so you need some other things when in times of trouble, when you meet with some misfortune. You like some people to come to help you, to console you, to give you a helping hand. So also, one should give confidence to others when people are very down. They have lost what they have earned and accumulated. And so such people, when they are very misfortune has struck them, then we give them confidence. When they are sick, we give console and give them confidence. Remove their fears, remove their worries. This is one kind of giving. And when people are dying too, to help them, to save lives. Animals die. You see some animals, they are endangered, their lives are endangered. You release them. They are small things. But when you do those good actions, then these small things, little by little, and then you will see the good actions ripen, become bigger and bigger. And this is how we can live happily here and hereafter. And so the other kind of giving is the giving of Dhamma. And that is one when you... And so the other kind of giving is the giving of Dhamma. And that is one when you come again and again, you listen to the Dhamma. You listen to the teachings of the Buddha and you try to understand what nature, the real laws of nature, and how we can live according to nature. And without transgressing the laws of nature, then this is how you will be able to give Dhamma to one another. The giving of Dhamma need not necessarily mean that you must go and preach to one another. If you can, it's very good. But also, there are various ways how you can give the Dhamma. what you learn now, what you hear now, and you think, oh, I must go back and I must go and preach to my mother and must preach to my little ones, and they are watching the television. You close the television, you say, here, now I am going to give you Dhamma, and because Dhamma is a higher gift, highest gift, you say, Sabba Dhanam, Dhamma Dhanam, Jinati. So listen here. Poor boy and poor little children, they get very angry with you. They says, how come I'm doing good thing, and they must know this is good thing. You must know when, you must have the wisdom of when to give them the Dhamma. And the Dhamma is really, it's good, but you must know when. And when in the family, when husband and wife, when the husband is not happy, then the wife must know when not to give the Dhamma. Give another kind of Dhamma. What Dhamma? Peace of mind, calm, quiet, silence. Even for keeping silent too, you can give the Dhamma. And so don't think that giving Dhamma, only opening your mouth. And sometimes by maintaining silence, by giving the kind of, by being cheerful, the smile in you, and that is another way that you can give them, and you can make them happy, or you can give them some confidence, or at least you can prevent them from getting angry. So there are these different ways of giving Dhamma. So, but firstly, it is good to know what this Dhamma is all about, and so learn how to give and some higher values of life. Then the other factor which will lead us to a good life hereafter, it is what we call wisdom, and wisdom or panya. And this is what, the more you listen to the Dhamma, the more wisdom will grow in you. This wisdom is different from the kind of knowledge that you get from schools and university and colleges. I begin to see more and more of this because now I begin to have the opportunity to associate with many professional people in Australia. Many of our devotees, sometimes when we hold a gathering about 20-25 people, there may be 5 or 6 doctors sitting down there listening and doing meditation and listening to Dhamma. And doctors, engineers, computer analysts, and so on. And so you see, but still, many of them still, they have the love for the Dhamma, but although they have a lot of, they have studied so much, so many years, a good part of their life they have studied, but still, they find very difficult to control themselves, to control their anger, to control their cravings, their sensual desires. And so this is what wisdom is, that which enables us to solve problems, to know how to overcome greed, overcome hatred, and eventually overcome the deluded mind. That is what wisdom is about. And many people today, they want to send their children, they have that excuse that they want to go overseas to migrate because for the education of the children. And but remember, I see a number of families, when they go overseas with their children, and they have no values, they have no love for their cultural heritage. cultural values. What happened is they send their children to school, and then when they mix with many other people who don't have such values, they have no respect for their teachers, they have no respect for their parents. And in these societies that we live in, they don't call their parents mother and father. They call them, hi Pat, hi Donald, hi Mac, and not only that. When I was studying in New Zealand, I had the opportunity to, during the vacation, I went to live with some families. I was shocked how the son comes in and starts swearing at the father, and real shock, cultural shock, And then the wife looks on. I remember the wife looked on and saw me getting a shock, and she says, oh, you get used to this, and that is how. They start, but not all. There are some good ones too. There are some who have the Dhamma with them. And this is the beauty, that when they have opportunity to associate with good people, then they become refined. Their language become refined. You see, those people who go to universities, colleges, and what do they learn apart from other things? They begin to talk very harshly, and they learn all the what you call the big and all the four-letter words and all these things they learn from there, because they see they feel when they talk like that they are rugged, At one time I also thought it was like that, and so you see, then I realized, and when I came after reading and after listening and what Buddhism is about, and avoiding harsh language, avoiding this language, then I said, why avoid harsh language? And it took me some time to have the courage to stop using all those words. And never mind what people call you. They call you, oh, you are sissy, and you are goody type. You don't speak that kind of rugged language. But refine, you use refined language anywhere you go. And what happens is that naturally, if you speak the very rugged language, harsh language, those people vibrating in the harsh frequency, they come to you. They are your good friends. So you have no opportunity to associate with the more cultured, more refined ones. But when you learn how to speak pleasantly, you learn how to speak politely, then those rugged ones, they don't like to associate with you. A good riddance of that rubbish. But the good ones, the refined, the cultured ones will come to associate with you. This is how you can grow in the Dhamma. You refine yourself, culture yourself. So wisdom is something that we have to cherish. And the way to develop wisdom is to grow in awareness, in the practice of mindfulness and awareness, so that our mind become very clear. The word Buddha, which means wisdom, which means awaken. Every time we have in our mind Buddha, every time we look at the Buddha, it should remind us of the awakened one. Not only the one outside, try to awaken yourself too. How to awaken yourself? It is by developing your mindfulness and clear comprehension. That is, you know what you are doing. Whatever you are doing, your mind should be there. Your mind should be one with your action. And then, because if we do not train our mind in this manner, our mind is one place, the body is one place. You see how many of you, your body is here. Is your mind here? And I have heard during the last 4 months, in the course of going around, a number of wives have come and said, when my husband come back, only his body come back, his mind is not there. When I talk to him at night, you see, he comes back in the night, I only see his body moving around, but his mind is not there. I ask him some question, no answer. Ask him again and he answer me something else, And why? Because these are people who have a lot of responsibility in the office. They are computer analysts and they are doctors and engineers. They are dealing with a lot of things. So what they do is they work and their mind so much attached to the work. Those who program computer and analyze computer, little problem, they have to think. And you use the left side of the brain a lot to program the thing. And when they come back, their mind is actually still in the computer, still programming. Only their body, only they show. But we laugh at them, but actually, if we look at ourselves, what we do during the day, from the morning till the night, how much time is your mind and body working together? From the time you wake up in the morning, you clean yourself. Where is your mind? Because you have woken up a bit late, and so quickly you wash yourself. While washing, your mind is already trying to eat something for your breakfast. While you are eating, preparing your breakfast, your mind is already in the car. When your mind is in the car driving, your body is in the car driving, your mind is in the office working. When you go to the office, you arrive at the office, then your mind is at home because you have forgotten something, where you put this thing and that thing. And when you come back from office, your mind is in the office. When you come back from office, come home, your mind goes back to the office. And when you sleep, how not your mind to go here and there? In this way, you see, this is how there is no efficiency. Their efficiency goes down. So, if you know the Dhamma, if you know how to live, how to make your mind together, and whatever you do to establish your mindfulness, sati, sampajanya, to become one with it. It's not enough if you want to walk, and I know you learn meditation, it's very good to learn mindfulness, walking, left, right, up, forward, down, and so on. But there must be the clear comprehension. You want to go office, and from here you want to walk the UMBC building, and you don't say, left, right only, and you take the wrong turn and you go somewhere else. You may land up in the Pudu jail. But if you have mindfulness, clear comprehension means you know the purpose, you know where you are going, so you know the overall things. Even whatever you do, when you are eating, you know why you eat, you know the necessity, you know the limit of it. So you have clear comprehension, and while you are doing that work, your mind is there. Because when you train your mind this manner, then it becomes efficient, because after this you have something to do. Your mind goes there, and that's it. And so in this way you can have happiness. And when your mind is trained in this manner, then your mind, you can make use, your mind will be able to control this body. Eventually, you can separate your mind from the body at will, not, accidentally. At will. In other words, eventually, in order to free our mind from all suffering, we must be able to separate our mind from the body. It is because of our attachment to the body that when we get sickness, and then, the mind is so much trouble. But when we develop the mind to see the true nature of the body, we see how the body is, such a very filthy thing, very beautiful. You think the body is very beautiful? Try and see. And when you wash your teeth, look carefully how beautiful the teeth is. Don't try to look all overall, just see one of them, and then see one by one, start analyzing the different parts of the body, and you see. And when you begin to see the true nature of this body, then you will slowly begin to have this kind of detachment. When your mind can detach from the body with mindfulness, with awareness, then when your body is sick, your mind will not become sick. And that is what all enlightened beings, all beings who have freed their minds, as long as they have the body, they will still grow old, they will still become sick, and they will still die. But because they have trained their mind, they have no longer any attachment to the body, so they have no fear, they have no suffering, because their minds are no longer attached to these things. So we must know when, with wisdom, we must know how to bring our mind and body together, and then with awareness, with mindfulness, we can separate them and bring them back like that. And that is the purpose where we have this kind of the traditional practice is very good when, before you go to work, try to make a point in the morning before you go to work, if you have a shrine at home, and to worship, to have, and to go for refuge to the Buddha, Dhamma, Sangha, and renew your precepts, and if not, stay for a few moments to calm down your mind, to meditate for a little while, because when you do these things, so that you will not take the trouble and the worries and all the problems that you have had at home with the wife, with the children, you don't take it to the office, and leave them. That's why we have the Buddha. Buddha has a lot of compassion, and have wisdom and compassion. So you can tell the Buddha anything. You want to talk to Buddha, a lot of problem. Buddha is not busybody, so you can talk. Never mind, if you have nobody to talk, can talk to the Buddha, and all your problems you can pour out and finish that, and then go to office with free mind. And in the same manner, when you come back home, it's good to go before you see your children and wife, go to the Buddha again and have a few moments of calmness, calm down your mind and free your mind, so that you don't take all the tension and all the stress and all the problems from office, you don't bring back home and pass on to your wife and children, poor people. This is what passing the bucket. And so I notice these things because it has been in the family tradition how I observe. When my father, when he was alive, he will go, every time he goes to work, before he goes, he will go to the shrine. Of course, in our shrine, we have different kinds of deities, because for forefathers, grandfathers believe that the more you have, the better it is, and just in case some are very busy, some are engaged, and, so the others, yes, of course, the deities, how many deities, how many people are praying to one deity every day, and they have a lot of things to do, so they may be very busy, so you have another one, so we had 7, and so we have there what you call the kakitangan, and so if you have Kwanti, you have Lo Pikong and Chu Chong, and their brothers, 3 brothers, they can do something for you. Anyway, these are all, but you must know how to use them. Use them the way, and you should not rubbish them, because actually there is a very good purpose, good thing, and if you can release your tension, and then after that you go to office, work, and a lot of tension come back, free your mind again. So that, this is how you can have that kind of metta, and you can be with the other members of the family, both your mind and body together. And so you know what you are doing with that. This is how you can have happiness. You can maintain the happiness and the harmony at home. And otherwise, mind here, body there, and so always come back, try to train the mind in that. This is what the Dhamma is for. And when we go for refuge to the Buddha, the Dhamma and the Sangha, in times of trouble, in times of conflict, we should go for refuge. We should seek protection in the Buddha, the Dhamma and the Sangha. Because when we go for refuge in the Buddha, Dhamma and Sangha, immediately our mind will come back to the present here and now, because the Dhamma teaches us how to bring our mind to the present and live in the present. It is when we live in the past or try to live in the future, the mind gets upset, gets disturbed. Every time the mind clings to the past, whatever has happened during the day, whatever has happened last month, last year, and whether good things or bad things, if we cling to them, we will suffer. Because if we have pleasant experience and we cling to that pleasant experience, and then now we don't have such pleasant experience, so we are disappointed. If we have unpleasant experience and we cling to that, we look at that person, we say, "Sir, that person, you remember last time what you said? You told me like that." Then the bad thoughts come. And that person, he cheated me 10 cents. And that poor ice cream seller also, you think all the things from the past, you cling to that. Your mind cannot be happy, your mind cannot be free. And if your mind don't cling to the past, your mind go to the future, try to build castle in the air and project what will happen tomorrow, what will happen 10 years time, 100 years from now, and the past is like a dream gone. The future is like a mirage. It's not real. So try to bring your mind in the present. Live in the present. The past is our foundation. We have to learn from it, whether good or bad. Whatever mistakes that we realize what we have made in the past, no point to think, I should not have done this. Why should I have done these things? Don't cling to that. Make firm determination. That is what you call repentance. The way you should repent is not to carry and brood the idea, oh, I have sinned, I have done these things bad, and you carry the guilt with you. The Buddhist way of repentance is to make firm determination that I have done this mistake, I see this mistake, this is and try to understand the cause of it, and then I shall overcome these things. And determined to overcome. And when your mind is happy, this is the function of meritorious actions. When you do merits, when you do good actions, your mind is naturally happy, become happy. Then you must take the opportunity when your mind is happy to make determination, to make adhisthana, to make aspiration that because when your mind is happy, you can concentrate. When your mind can concentrate, you should cherish some good thoughts in your mind, some higher values, so that you can grow spiritually. Because whenever you do good, good will come to you. Whether you will aspire or not, you will get it. But we must be wise. What do we want? We should aspire for something higher, some higher values of life. Anybody in this world, when somebody gets angry with, and that person can get angry, they fight, they quarrel. Anybody can do that. Anybody can kill one another. But to restrain from that is difficult. To give love when somebody hates you. To speak politely when somebody speaks harshly to you, that is something difficult to do. And this is what you call the higher values. And other very ordinary people, anybody, people marry, produce children and grandchildren, very ordinary thing. Even my teachers say even ants can do that. They also lay eggs and they also produce babies. You see, but not to produce too many babies is not so difficult. A bit difficult to do, isn't it? To refrain yourself and to restrain yourself and sense restraint. So these are the things, the difficult things, the higher values to cherish and to determine so that you can grow spiritually. That is aspiration. And there are different kinds of aspiration. The aspiration to be well and happy in this lifetime, so that you can do more good actions, more merits. And sometimes you think that maybe you think in this lifetime that if you cannot finish all your work, cannot do what has to be done to put an end to all suffering, then you may have that aspiration that may I have a good birth and carry on my walking in the Dhamma's path. And then the highest aspiration, if you can cherish that, may I attain the bliss of Nibbana, Nibbana Pacahotu. Then this kind of aspiration that you make because if you make it in a calm, in a concentrated mind, then it becomes your karma. And that karma will ripen. When that karma ripens, then no obstacles. Everything will flow like a song for you. So let us, I think, sit down for a few minutes, round up, and so that you can make good aspiration and calm down your minds. We will sit for a few minutes, okay? And try to sit in an upright, keep your body upright, and relax your shoulders and feel the shoulders relax. You either close your eyes or half close your eyes. Try to keep the half smile of the Buddha, so that naturally your face too will become relaxed. Take a few deep breaths, breathe in, breathe out. As you breathe in and out, free your mind. Free your mind from whatever things that has happened during the day. All thoughts of the past. Free your mind. Also, whatever plans you have for the rest of the day, for tomorrow and the future, just free your mind from that and bring your attention to the present by observing your breath, breathing in, breathing out normally. Those of you who have learned to watch the rising and falling of your abdomen, you can continue to observe the rise and fall of your abdomen. Others can watch as you breathe in and breathe out. You can observe your breath around the tip of your nostrils. Just observe the breath. You can feel the breath as it enters and leaves the nostrils. And try to focus your attention around the tip of your nostrils. Breathing in, you can mentally note Bud. Breathing out, mentally note Do. Breathe in with Bud. Breathe out, Do. Keep your attention on the breath. Any thoughts, any distraction arises in your mind, as soon as you become aware of it, mindfully return your attention to your breath. Keep your mind alert and be wide awake. Breathe in, breathe out normally. Breathing in, mentally note Bud. Breathing out, mentally note Do. Bud. Do. Keep your attention on the breath for a little while. You will now bring your attention to your body, keeping your body in an upright position. Breathe in, breathe out normally. As you breathe in and out, just relax the body. Feel the whole body relax. From the top of your head right down to the tip of your toes. Feel the whole body relax. That may this body be free from ill health, free from sufferings. May it experience calm and peace. May May this whole body be free from ill health, free from sufferings. May it experience calm and peace. In the same manner, you will now recall to mind all your religious teachers, if you have any, wherever they may be, that may all your religious teachers, may they too be free from ill health, free from sufferings. May they have calm and peace. May all our religious teachers be well and happy. Now recall to mind of your parents, mother and father, wherever they are now, or those who are living. May they too be free from ill health, free from sufferings. May they have calm and peace. May all our parents be well and happy. Extend your thoughts of loving kindness to all your brothers and sisters and all the other members of your family, relatives and friends, whoever that comes to your mind. May they too be free from ill health, free from sufferings, free from harm and dangers. May they be well, may they be happy. Now, as you breathe in and breathe out normally, just radiate your thoughts of loving kindness in all the directions, above, below, and all around you. Fill this whole hall with your thoughts of loving kindness, that all who are gathered here, known or unknown to you, seen or unseen, may all be free from ill health, free from sufferings. May all experience calm and peace. Going beyond the boundaries of this hall to the whole temple premises and to all the surrounding areas, to as far as your mental vibrations can reach, covering the whole capital territory, the whole federal territory, and to as far as your mental vibrations can reach, to the whole country and beyond. That may all beings, known or unknown to us, seen or unseen, all that dwells in the air, in the open space, on land, in the waters, may they all be well, may they be happy, may they be free from ill health, free from sufferings, free from harm and danger. That may all beings be well and happy. Spend a few moments as you breathe in and out. Just radiate your thoughts of loving kindness in all the directions, above, below, and all around you. That may all beings be well and happy. All beings be well and happy. Bhavatu Sabba Mangalam Rakkantu Sabba Devata Sabba Buddhanubhavena Sata Sutti Bhavantu Te Bhavatu Sabba Mangalam Rakkantu Sabba Devata Sabba Dhammanubhavena Sata Sutti Bhavantu Te Bhavatu Sabba Mangalam Rakkantu Sabba Devata Sabba Sanghanubhavena Sada Soti Bhavantu Te. May you all be well and happy. And slowly return your attention to your body. Take a few deep breaths. Breathe in, breathe out, and slowly open your eyes. Be wide awake, calm and peaceful. Slowly open your eyes and be wide awake. As you open your eyes, try to maintain your calmness. Try to maintain the calm and the quiet within you. You can become aware whatever you see around you, objects that you see. Your mind, when your mind is calm, looking in with a calm and silent mind, your mind do not react to whatever you see. No clinging, no craving for what you see, no aversion. Whatever sound that you hear too, you just hear the sound, become aware of the ear consciousness and have no clinging, no aversion towards it. Whatever feelings, whatever sensation that arises when your mind is calm, when you maintain the silence in your mind, then you should no clinging, no aversion towards whatever sensation, pleasant or unpleasant. Just learn to observe it, rising and falling. Whatever arises, see how it falls, watching the arising and falling of all phenomena, mental and physical phenomena, even with your eyes open. So in this way, when you can experience the little bit of peace, the little bit of calmness within you, even for this short while, when your mind is residing in the present, when your mind is in the present without, your mind is not in the past, your mind not in the future, you can see, you can experience the peace of mind within you, the calmness that you have within you. So this is the Dhamma. This is the Dhamma that we should try to cherish and make, so that eventually we will be able to to live in the present. The mind can be in the present always, all the time. That is how we will be able to overcome all sufferings, whatever problems, whatever difficulties, with calmness, with wisdom, that we wish that by your interest in the Dhamma, in the Buddha, the Dhamma and the Sangha, may you all have the opportunity to practice and develop wisdom and compassion, and may by all the meritorious actions that you have done, may you be able to overcome whatever problems, whatever obstacles that come in your way, may you be able to overcome them and be able to pave the way for you to attain the bliss, the real peace within you, and attain the bliss of Nibbana. And by this goodness, your interest in the Buddha, Dhamma and Sangha, may the purity, the goodness, the great virtues of the Buddha, Dhamma and Sangha be always be with you. And may you all be well and happy. May all members of your family too be well and happy. Good health and peace to all of you.